Hello, me again. And this time, with lighting, but it may be too bright or not enough or in the wrong way. I hope the microphone is good. It's gonna be like, maybe it's slightly in the frame. I don't know, because I kind of want to, whatever. Hopefully my computer doesn't fall off my bed. Also, if my eyes look droopy, it's because I barely slept in like 2 days and I'm exhausted. Wow, they look really droopy. I didn't realize. Jesus. Okay. So, as you can see, I am a blueberry. I don't know what that sound was. A blueberry. And this is actually what I love. I love being a blueberry with my blue hair. And I actually was considering uploading a video regarding that, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, today's video is about my tattoos based on a conversation and like a suggestion slash like showing interest in my tattoos and the reasons behind them. And so what do I say anyways, and so I'm going to show some of my tattoos and explain them, and two of them I might not, or three maybe, I might not be able to because I have one like here and then one on my hip, and then one over here. I might be able to show this one, but all of the one here and here, let's start with those. Those were stupid self-tattoos when I was a teenager, and my recommendation is never do that. Trust me, you will regret it, and you'll have to pay a lot to get it covered. And then we have this lovely one, which I call pineapple boob. Maybe I can show it. Show a little bit. It looks like that, and then that. Okay, by the way, there is nothing like else that I showed. It was just, that's what I wanted to show, whatever I could. And that one I call pineapple boob. Tell me whether or not you agree with that type of idea in the comments. And that was my first like professional tattoo, but the problem was that it was obviously, I can't show you all of it, but the way that it looks was not done correctly. And I am gonna go back because I need to talk to the manager and be like, hey, yeah, you fucked up. But the problem is, this whole like quarantine thing. So yeah, that probably won't be happening anytime soon, but eventually, one day, I will go back and be like, fuck you. But much louder, probably, knowing me. The other one, maybe I can show it. Let's see if it shows enough. I think you can see it. Maybe. Well, no. It's like a heartbeat. And it was with another ex, like, I guess you could say ex, like a friend. And it was a really weird kind of situation. Like, it was not good. And it was when I was like 14. And it was just a weird situation. It would be way too long to explain, but essentially it was supposed to be kind of a neutral type of friendship tattoo. I don't think hers got finished. I don't know, but mine's finished as much as a self-done tattoo can be. And honestly, I don't regret the tattoo. I just want to get it like drawn over it properly because I like the tattoo. That looked crazy, like this close. I like the tattoo, and I like what it, like, symbolizes, because it's a heartbeat. It can be, like, cheesy, or I don't know if it's too common, but I don't think that should be a reason why you don't get a type of tattoo if you really like it. Tattoo is about you and about what you really like, and because you're the one that's going to have it for a fair amount of time the rest of your life, or at least a faded version eventually, like, they're basically permanent, just maybe not in the state that they were originally. And so, like, I don't think anyone should be ashamed of what kind of tattoo they have or what they want. Like, although the, like, saying live, laugh, love, if I'm saying that right, in the right order, is really cringy in a sense. If that's something that means something to you, then it's important to take that into account, because something can mean something to you even if it's something that isn't really like that. It doesn't obviously have like a reason. Okay, the second thing, or the third thing, is one on my hip, which is, when they're like counting down days, like they show it in like shows of prison cells, and they'll be like that, like slash 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 like 6 times, and then they'll put a cross there. Yeah, it looks like that. It was something to do with Doctor Who. And now, because I did it myself, and yeah, not a good idea is what I can inform you of. Don't ever try it, especially when you're a teenager. You will regret it, although maybe you won't listen to it. So I'm not intoxicated, I just can't speak, and I'm exhausted. So exhausted. But in any case, that had to do with Doctor Who, and it's too difficult to explain the timeline of Doctor Who, and those who watch it know why, because it's a really complex story, and I don't have the time to do that, nor the energy, I'm sorry, but it was related to the show called Doctor Who, and I'd done it myself, so it was bad, and I need to figure out how to fix it, but I don't have enough money because I'm poor, and that's the fun part of being poor. I don't know why I just did this like this, but I'm so tired, and I'm very loopy from being tired, so just excuse that. Like, like I want to sleep, but there's insomnia. Anyways, I'm gonna not ramble about my issues like that. So, moving on to the other tattoos I have, just get ready. We have this tattoo. See if it shows this way. It's kind of twisted that way. That's a bit straighter. So it's the volume is probably going to be louder. Sorry about that. It's DNA wrapped around dopamine and serotonin. Those are the chemical formulas for dopamine and serotonin, which are, if you want to describe it really simply, like the happy drugs in your brain. And I thought it was really important to me because of my medical and mental health stuff, and those two things are like important to me and what I take medically, and they just represent something. And I liked how the way it would be wrapped in DNA, that idea that I think it was, I'm pretty sure, but then the artist really did an amazing job. He freelanced, did this shit, freelanced. Wow. He freehanded this part, like the DNA. I don't know if it shows how detailed it is, but it's really, really detailed, and that person is so amazing. I wish I remembered the name, but I don't recall it right now. And the next one is this tattoo, which if it will show, it looks, or I'll start with this one, this little moon. It's with my best friend and roommate, and she has a sun and I have a moon, and it's related to something we got when we first met each other, which was, I think, a necklace that had a sun and a moon, and it just happened. I liked the moon, she liked the sun, and it was representation, blah, 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 cheesy shit. And so that's why we got it, and I liked it because it's pretty simplistic. Okay, so I'm going to stop saying moving on. If you can see how from here it starts to do the spiral is this. It continues here with a little X, and then the 3 butterflies. That is reference to Life is Strange, which people who played it probably recognize it. The game Life is Strange meant something to me because I loved the game a lot in my senior year, which was a hell for me. It was awful. And so I like the idea. I get to come home and I'd have this game that I could play, and it's not too hard because I'm really bad with video games with like a lot of combat, because my dexterity in my hands are... Why does it look crazy when I do this? I don't know. The dexterity in my hands is not good, so it was a really fun game, and I love choice-based games. Maybe that says something about me, maybe it doesn't. I just love seeing the consequences with things, seeing the different outcomes, and the art in it was beautiful. I loved her notebook. If you played it, the notebook, the art in the notebook, it was really pretty to me. And that looks bad. This looks bad too. I don't have a way to make it look good. But yeah, that game was just something I liked, and it had really good memories connected to it, and the storyline, part of the areas of it, part of the things that it like encouraged me to do, because like I'd see the writing and be like, let me go back to my poetry, because I self-proclaimed, I guess, poet. I've written a lot. I've written a book. It's in the process of publishing. It has a section on that. The rest is about autism. But I write a lot of poetry, and it saved me from a lot of dark times, basically, And that that particular video game had it. I don't know what it did, but it inspired some artwork and some writing for me, and memories were just generally really good with that. Okay, next one is, okay, I got the one here, just poked my boob. Here. I don't have any on my, well, if you want to call it that, I have a slight line on my ankle, which I'm not going to show you because it's too much work to take off the sock thigh highs I'm wearing. Oh my god, my hair. This is what happens when you damage it so much so it looks like a poofy mess. But that's not strange for me anyway, so might as well mess it up more. There's like a slight line dotted too. It's not complete because I was trying to do like, I think something like that around the ankle, and it didn't work out, suffice to say. And what it was based on was this like piece of like almost cloth. It was like a lace cloth thing, and I put it around my ankle, and I was like, take it off when you get better. And then I just never wanted to take it off, and I realized later I was like, I'd want to get a tattoo of it because it's not about getting better. It's about growing into yourself and growing into the person that you are, becoming okay with yourself. And that's kind of what I attributed it to. So the tattoo idea was like, you're never going to take it off because there's no perfectly better. There's feeling better. There's doing better. But that's not what should define you. I keep doing shit with my hair, by the way, because I'm seeing how awful it is in camera. But anyways, it was just a very significant thing, and I don't have that thing around my ankle anymore, and it's not any representation. I just don't know where it is, and I think it was a very like big thing, movement in my head. Wow, I think it was a big change in my head to realize that it's not just about getting better. It's about learning about yourself to be able to help yourself get better and help yourself do better. Not so much about getting better, I think, but doing better or getting better. No, getting better still counts. It's just about accepting things and going with them. And the reason I'm saying all this in the way that I have is specifically related to mental illness. So it wasn't that I wanted the idea of, oh, you're cured, you're fine, all that. No, that's not what it is. It's growing into yourself. It's learning who you are and learning that what's happening to you is a part of you, but not bad. It's just part of who you are. It's part of the struggles that you have to deal with. Other people have other struggles to deal with, which other people think is usually normal a lot of the time. But I could go on a whole rant of that, so I'm going to stop that point. Okay, next one. I think it's... Oh, I hit the mic, sorry. One more on this arm. I call this arm the video game arm. I keep tapping the microphone, I'm sorry. I think it shows... You can see it. It's the Undertale. It's from Undertale, but I mixed up some things. It says, despite everything, it still refused. And that's a reference to two parts of the game near the end. Spoiler alert, kinda, about the... Not the ending, but like certain things where you can interact with something, you hear the protagonist's like thoughts and stuff. And at one point, they look in the mirror and they say... Despite everything, it's still you, after the whole stuff that goes down, because I don't want to really spoil it for anyone. And I love that quote. But then during the boss battle thing at the end, again, I warned you in the beginning, this might be spoilerish, the heart kept going back together and saying, despite everything, it refused, or it refused. I think it said it refused. It's been a while since I played the game, but I was like, I like those two, so I mixed them together. So it's despite everything, it's still refused, which is the heart, and one is the heart, one is breaking, one is the heart, back together. I really like that idea. Oh, there's much more. I forgot about my tattoos. Okay, we'll start with this. Let's see if it shows. Yeah, it's not gonna show completely. I think you can see. Yeah, there we go. It is an anagram of all of the letters of the alphabet. All of them are in there. And I put that because I'm a writer. And I love writing. And it just had a representation for that for me. Then we have the 36 degrees, which I plan on continuing for the band that it's from, which is Placebo, and I want to write like the PLA whatever BE, like I can't think of it right now, I'm too tired, but basically incorporating the 36 into the name Placebo. PLABE. Oh yeah, the 3 would be like an E, but it would be backwards, and then the 6 would be representing the B, and there would still be the degree sign, because that's one of their songs, and one of the songs that I love a lot. And now, that used to be something that was with someone that's no longer my friend, but I never let those types of things ruin, particularly that band, for me, because it means so much to me. I love their music, and there's memories which would be too long to explain, but it's a really pertinent, like, band in terms of my growing up. And as such, I really value it a lot, and it didn't matter to me because it was like, I just got the fucking 36 degrees. It wasn't really a big difference. And funny enough, right after I got the tattoo, which wasn't really to represent the whole friendship, by the way, because there were other ideas. It was after I'd gone to visit them, and I could have gotten different tattoos that would have represented it more clearly, but I ended up getting this one because of the 2-factor of it. And funny enough, after that, the only thing when I talked to her was when it's just, that's when shit went down. Not saying like it was I guess you could say it's a fight, but it was just a mess. Basically a mess went down. And yeah, so I wrote about that, all that stuff, hence the anagram too. I think I got them both at the same time. Alright, I already showed this one, so showed that one, this one, this one, this one, that one, this one, this one, that one, this one. Yeah, we're up to 17 minutes. This is taking a while. I didn't think it would take this long. Last one is one of the most important ones to me, which is this one. Just block the light. You can see it. This is basically, I brought in May, and I was like, I want this. And so it was a tattoo of May. Like, they did it in kind of the style of it, and I love scratchy tattoos, kind of like how this is scratchy too. I love the scratchy style. And so they did that, and then they had the tail, which is here. Which area? There, I think, if you can see it. There we go. It says, I'm doing better than I ever was. Those of you that know the Taylor Swift lyrics, yes, I listen to Taylor Swift. Maybe I don't look like someone that would, or I do. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but a lot of people judge you for liking her music, or some people do. I don't know. But I grew up listening to her. She was a big part of my life growing up, a really important part, and her music, that particular lyric, I love because it's actually on my wall, because that's the particular part of the lyric that I love, that I picked, because I thought it was very, very much related to May, or Maybes, because to her, I was doing a lot better, and I had this tattoo to remind me I'm doing better than I ever was, no matter what. No matter how bad the situation is, you're still doing good in some way, even just by staying alive. And that's one of the reasons I got it, and I love that it's something with May, and it's always the idea of, like, sadly, they can't be around you forever. Their lifespan won't last that long. But I have something to remember her by now. And I got the idea. Also, I saw a friend. I don't really talk to her much anymore. I don't know what happened. But why do I keep sounding like I'm just losing my friends? No, I have friends. But I mean, these are things I got a while ago. So that's why it's related to that. But I saw that she had a tattoo of a past pet, that it had passed away. And I was like, let me take my pet to the tattoo parlor, as one does, the completely normal thing, and just show them the cat, be like, here, I want this. And that's basically what I did, and I wanted to do it when she was alive, just show her, and I wanted to have a tattoo of her in relation to something like this. I thought of the lyric, and I thought this out a lot, and I loved it, particularly because there was the mess related to that other friend, past friend, related to the 36 degrees. And the whole idea stemmed around the full lyric, which is all the liars are calling me one. Nobody's heard from me for months. I'm doing better than I ever was. And it wasn't just related to her, it was related to another person. Mind you, this is all back like near high school time, especially this one that I'm going to mention. I'm 21 now, not saying I'm completely mature, but I mean I have more friends now. I've learned the kind of person that I am and the kind of people that are not going to be harmful to myself in whatever way, mentally or otherwise, in my life, and or just simply friends that just don't click or you don't talk to. And after a while, I just realized I'm not going to chase after someone, even if it's not like a bad ending. You would have talked to me if you still wanted to, or you'll talk to me eventually, whatever. So, you know that friend that you have that just like, I don't know, but I have a friend who's just like, I won't talk to her for months, and then we talk to each other, and then we see each other because we're both so busy, but it's always okay between us, and I love that so much. Anyways, so yeah, one of them was because of the fact that a past friend that was my best friend growing up, which was the hardest part of it, essentially said later, after a bunch of shit that went down that I may say later, I may not, but this part was about her telling me that I wasn't a good person to her, and it was after like a year of not talking to her, and it was basically around the fact that I wasn't a good influence or whatever to her, and to me I'm not like shitting on her, but it's just odd to need that while you're an adult. But I'm not saying that you don't want to have people around you, but it was like specifically mentioned in a way where it was referencing the fact that kind of, at least from my understanding, that they couldn't properly like they knew that they were affected by, I don't know. That just to me is like, you can have people that can be toxic in your life. But the main thing, let me just discard what I said because it's not completely what I mean. I think it's very good to get rid of toxic people or whatever in your life. And so, I think, busy recording. My roommate. And so, with that, I think I'll leave it because basically it was like after a year they came back, told me it was not gonna. I was like, what? I talked to you a year. And it was related to the liar and all that. So all the liars are calling me one, which happened a lot. Nobody's over me for months because I disappeared for a long time. I was dealing with my own life, and when I came back and all that happened, I'm doing better than I ever was because to me, I was. Compared to high school, a lot of things had to change, and so it meant a lot to me. But this video is at 23 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to end it here. But there's the story of all my tattoos. It's a long video. I'm sorry. Probably get less views. I don't know if anybody's interested in the story of my tattoos, but there you go. So, I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe, like, all that random shit, and whatever. Just bye.